everyone, it's Paola and welcome to my smutathon vlog. I have to film this very quickly because I have a timer so that I go back to my master's class. I'm in the middle of a break. But I just wanted to let you know very quickly that I am very excited about smutathon. This is my favorite readathon ever. Romance is my favorite genre ever, and I am very excited to be able to join the readathon because I am officially done with my assigned reading, which was all fun. After reading 2 books a week and them all being fantasy, just put a really mental block in my mind, and I find it very hard to focus and pretty much anything else. And romance is one of the easiest genres to read for me, so I am absolutely pumped. I have no idea what I'm gonna read aside from the group book, which is called Theirs for the Night, and it's an MMF romance, which sounds all kinds of exciting. I've never read anything like it, so I'm quite excited about that. That is definitely on my TBR, but then my tentative TBR is made up of 6 books. I am going to do a triad chapter for all of the books, and then I'm going to decide on only one. 3 of the books are digitally. The first one is the first book in the Dirty British Romance duology by Talia Hibbert. I have no idea what it is about, but it's available to listen on audio on Scribd, and I feel like audiobooks are my best friends right now. So I feel like that should be an interesting read, and also I love Talia Hibbert. The other 2 books are arcs. The first one is also by Talia Hibbert and it's called Guardian Temptation. I don't know what this book is about. The other book is His Come Undone. This is an anthology and it's by Adriana Herrera and a couple of other authors. I've never read anything by Adriana Herrera, but I've heard very good things. This sounds like the perfect romance anthology for me to get a taste of not only what Adriana Herrera can write, but also a couple of other authors. And the other 3 books that I'm going to read a chapter of are physical. They are all from the Spanish Harley Quinn edition, you know, the one that has the little ñ there. The first one is called Mi Nombre es Pecado by Adriana Rubens. It translates to My Name is Sin, or Sin is My Name. And I think this is a billionaire romance between a translator and her boss. The other one is El Amor Está de Moda by Arwen Gray. These translate to Love is in terms of fashion, as you can probably tell by the cover. This one, I don't know if it's a throuple romance or love triangle, but it's between a wannabe designer, a famous designer, and a model. And the last one is Dulce Sara by Mercedes Alonso. This translates to Sweet Sarah. And I also have no clue what to make of the synopsis because it basically says that our protagonist is a psychologist. She falls in love with an attractive young guy. His name is Jorge. And then the relationship ends when she witnesses Jorge kissing another guy. But then right here it says, but even if Sarah doesn't believe it, changes happen. Life can sometimes be upside down and flow to find new and happier routes. So I don't know if it's like a second chance romance. I don't know if it's a throuple romance or if it's a love triangle or what it is. But regardless, I'm excited. I've never read Spanish romance and I'm quite excited to check them out. Hey, so it's been a day since this marathon ended and it's been 2 days since I hosted the Navigating Latinx Identity in Fantasy for the Social Distanced Book Fest. So I wrote a little thing that made me incredibly emotional. But I really want to read because I don't know how else to talk about everything that hosting the panel meant to me. So I really don't want to go back and edit this, so I hope I don't stumble over my words, and I will most definitely cry, so deal with it. 2 days ago, I had the privilege of moderating a panel called Navigating Latinx Identity in Fantasy. From the start, the day was overwhelming. I had class for 6 hours, and in the middle of it, I realized I had scheduled the call an hour late. The mistake was quickly fixed, but it still made me feel a little less worthy of the honor of hosting said panel. I felt a lot of pressure too. I was worried about my accent, my syntax, my internet connection, and my questions. I guess it never really hit me that it was real until I hit the link for the broadcast, and minutes later, Anna Marie McLemore was online. It was only then that I realized it was happening. I was going to be interviewing not only magical realism and Latinx royalties such as Anna Marie McLemore, but also other well-loved authors like Zoraida Cordova and Daniel Jose Older. Chantel Acevedo, who had already published books, but this was her first novel for kids, and Amparo Ortiz, a debut author whose panel this was the first. From the day the panel was announced, people were liking, retweeting, and voicing their excitement. And I instantly felt like if I didn't do a good job, I was going to let a whole lot of people, my people, down. So the first thing that I want to acknowledge is the welcoming warmth that Zoraida Cordova, Chantel Acevedo, Anna Marie McLemore, Amparo Ortiz, and Daniel Jose Older made me feel minutes before we went live. At no point did I feel intimidated or that these authors felt like they were above the Mexican girl with 400 and something subscribers. We kicked things off and I could already feel my dream of becoming Mexican Graham Norton slip away. My screen froze and I was stuttering a bit. Everyone was so chill about it, but I felt like I was doing a poor job. Thank God all of these authors were chatty and were being honest and vulnerable about their experiences. It made me feel incredibly validated as a girl who had been on YouTube for 3 years with quote-unquote only 400 something subscribers, which was something I wasn't completely at peace with. I never joined BookTube because I wanted fame or adoration, but sometimes I feel like I'm shouting into the void. Because while everyone is reading new releases and the most popular books, I'm talking about books that came out years and years ago that everyone has already heard enough about, or about how diversity is not a trend. I never thought that hosting such a quote-unquote niche panel would bring more than 10 new subscribers. BookTube royalty Marines really loved authors such as Aidan Thomas, Alexandra Villasante, and Anna Marie McLemore to follow me on Twitter, and Alexis Daria, one of my favorite romance authors, to personally offer me an arc of her new book. I'm still internalizing or trying to internalize people telling me that I did a good job on the panel. After the screen froze and I didn't have enough time to ask about food in the author's books. Small things, I know. But it's hard not to beat myself up when I've been doing it for a really long time. Thank you to everyone who watched. Reading your comments on how seen you felt made my day. And thank you to the people who complimented my work as a moderator. You have no idea how much it means to me. Thank you to Anna Marie McLemore, Amparo Ortiz, Chantel Acevedo, Zoraida Cordova, and Daniel Jose Older for being wonderful panelists. I hope you know you made it easy to moderate the panel. Thank you for using your voice to tell your truth. I hope you know you're inspiring hundreds of people to tell their own truth, including me. Thank you for paving the way. To everyone else, don't forget to check out these authors' newest releases: Shadow Shaper Legacy and Dactyl Squad 3 by Daniel Jose Older, Dark and Deepest Red by Anna Marie McLemore, Incendiary, Wayward Witch, and The Way to Rio Luna by Zoraida Cordova, Blaze Red Games by Amparo Ortiz, and Mew Squad by Chantel Acevedo. I will leave Goodreads links down below for all of these authors' books. Some of them have already come out, some of them are yet to come out. So yeah, as you can tell, I was feeling a lot of things and I just didn't really know how to process them or how to talk about them unless I wrote them down. Otherwise, I was gonna end up rambling a whole lot. I also debated not talking about the panel at all because I was gonna get emotional, and for a really long time I cried in front of people who had no business seeing me cry. It makes me feel like I'm a little girl and I'm 24 years old, but not talking about it would have made me feel gross because it was such a wonderful experience as a Latinx reader, and especially being amongst incredible authors. I wanted to acknowledge all the love that I felt, not only from the authors but also from the people who were watching. Again, I cannot thank you enough for watching and for encouraging me, and thank you for your kind words that you left on my tweet where I said that I was gonna cry. Apparently I'm not done crying yet. Moving on from the panel and everything that I was feeling, I want to talk about smutathon because this is my smutathon vlog. I was able to finish two little books. They were both novellas. The first one is called Stairs for the Night by Katie Robert. This was the group book, and it's about a girl. Her name is Meg, and she's in New York, and she meets these two hot guys who want to dance with her. Then they want to have sex with her, and it ends with a cliffhanger. I had no idea that that was gonna happen, and now I'm like at a loss because I need the next book in the series. It's already out, but I haven't been able to get my hands on it, and it was hot, hot, hot. I really enjoy books that don't shy away from, I don't know, I guess conventional sex. Is that what it's called? I also feel weird talking about it after I just talked about the panel that I hosted. It's about two men and a woman who have sex, and they're interested in each other, not just in bed but also like emotionally, but that comes in the next book in the series. I decided to read Guarding Temptation by Talia Hibbert because I found out that it was also a novella, so I was like, okay, I really want to feel accomplished during this smutathon, and I feel like this is doable. Let's check it out. This book is about James and Nina. They know each other because Nina's brother is best friends with James, and they really want each other, but they don't think that the other person likes them back. So it's angsty and steamy and short, and it's so good. Go read it already. Alright, so that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down below if you watched the Social Distance Book Fest and what was your favorite panel. Also, let me know what's been your favorite book that you've read so far in the month of April. And if you haven't already and you'd like to, go ahead and hit subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!